Hello, my friends. As I mentioned last week, I flew down to Melbourne for a wedding, hence my delay in this recap. I apologise for the lateness, but here I am and I'm ready to talk about the Snatch game. The Queens walk back into the workroom after Hormona's elimination, and Corey King is just devastated. Speaking of, we get a bit of a Corey King edit this episode. She says the girls aren't giving what they think they are, and at first I was like, well, Corey, what are you giving? But by the end of this episode, I actually thought that she deserved to be in the top for Snatch Game, but I'll get onto that later. Lana says that back in New York, she has confidence out the wazoo, but on Drag Race, the judges just aren't connecting with her. She plans to keep her head in the game and turn that all around. And the edit was there. Crystal is adamant that if Ariete had gone home the week before, she would have won the ball. I do feel for Crystal. She's always a bridesmaid and never a bride, and sadly, she never gets to be a bride. But I'll get there. So it's a new week in the workroom, and the spirit of Hormona still lingers in the air as she leaves her shake and go bob for everybody to remember her by. At that point, Rue enters the workroom and announces that for this week's Maxi Challenge, the Queens are playing the Snatch game. As they get ready, Anya says that she's playing Eddie Murphy. Excellent choice. Acacia says that she's going to be doing Trisha Paytas, and we do be needing a redemption after Sugar's woeful performance in season 15. On the other end of the spectrum, Jules is doing Miss Bigfoot, and Ariete is doing Cupid. Now, you guys know how I feel about made-up characters on the Snatch game, although I have to say that one of them worked out really well. 3 guesses who I'm talking about. Susie is playing Alan Green, who was in The Little Shop of Horrors, which I thought was a perfect choice for her because Alan Green is just as campy as Susie, but we'll get there. Lana picks Rosa Parks because she feels that the bus is still running joke that Rue makes all the time will be the perfect thing to say. And yes, Corey is doing Big Ange, Sam picks Kim Gravel, and Crystal chooses Nicole Richie. Ruth says that Crystal needs to loosen up a little bit more. She takes a lot of things too seriously, and unfortunately that does not get better for Crystal in this episode. Lexi is playing Gilbert Gottfried, and Lydia is doing David Lynch. This is quite timely considering his recent passing. Corey, how do you not know who David Lynch is? Joining Rue in the walkthrough is the winner of Global All-Stars, Alyssa Edwards. Now, how much did they pay Sam Starr to call her the winner? Because she was not announced as the winner when season 17 was being filmed. We get a parallel to season 12 when Rue says that he's not 100% sure about Eddie Murphy as a choice, and Anya says, I'm doing it anyway. Now remember that Rue did say this to Gigi Good when she wanted to play Maria the Robot. Both queens were confident that they could deliver, and deliver they did. Also, I love how they hid Corey's orange boot. Yes, protest the boot. So it's time for the Snatch game, and Lana is immediately thrown when Rue asks her the question, is the bus still running? Because she wanted to ask Rue that. It's that one moment that just throws her off completely, and she does not recover for the rest of the game. As the preview from last week suggested, Lexi does struggle playing Gilbert Gottfried, but she does manage to turn it around, at least in the judges' eyes. Listen, they were never going to put her in the bottom, and I'll talk more about that later. Ariete is delivering on the look, but not the comedy, and Crystal's just given nothing. The standout clearly was Anya. It was a perfect impersonation. I can't believe no one has done Eddie Murphy before. But I have to say, I really thought that Corey King did a good job as Big Ange. Like, yes, she didn't have many responses, but she was able to volley with the other queens as well as RuPaul. And Jules as Miss Bigfoot was one of my favorites. I love how she said it was blood on her toenails. Overall, it was an okay Snatch game. It was nothing super memorable. To be honest, I feel like that gay AI made Rue laugh more than the contestants did. As the queens get ready, Susie says that Anya didn't really have much of a characterization. The Delulu was strong with Susie in this episode. Sam says to Susie, you actually surprised me, and Susie's all like happy. She feels like she's being complimented, and then Sam's like, in a bad way. And honestly, all of this was a precursor for what was to come in Untucked. So on the main stage this evening, we have RuPaul, Michelle Visage, the hilarious Ross Matthews, and extra special guest judge, Quinta Brunson. Category is Nailed It, and I gave my top toot to Susie Toot. This was really cool and dark and unexpected from Susie. It was a much needed redemption from her Snatch Game character, which was awful. And when she was made safe, she just looked so disappointed. So surprisingly, Lexi Love is put in the top. They acknowledge that she flopped, but she flopped funny. So my thoughts on Lexi being in the top are this. I think the production is pushing Lexi love, and I think it's been a while since she was critiqued, and they want to keep her relevant in the eyes of the viewers, but they want to keep her relevant in a positive way. So they found a way to put her in the top and sort of make her flopping to her advantage. That's what I think. I mean, from a production standpoint, this makes sense. Sam Starr is in the top for an entertaining performance. She gets a very similar critique to the one that Kerry Colby got in season 14. She's very polished and pretty, but they want to see ugly. They want to see her edges. Lana is in the bottom, despite looking so beautiful on the runway. Her impersonation of Rosa Parks was full of missed opportunities. Crystal is also in the bottom. Her runway was amazing, but the jokes in Snatch Game just weren't there. Jules is in the top for her impersonation of Bigfoot and looking fabulous. Arrietty is in the bottom for having no point of view, playing Cupid as a baby. Her look was amazing though, and I think that is what ultimately saved her. Anya is in the top for finding the funny and delivering the essence of Eddie Murphy. Quinta says she wants to see Anya host SNL someday. I mean, what a compliment is that? Back on the main stage, Anya Mother Tucker Nerve gets her second win, and can we say frontrunner? I know that's right. Lexi, Jules, Sam, and Arrietty are made safe, which means it's down to Crystal vs. Lana. They performed to Hands to Myself by Selena Gomez, and it's this lip sync that has got everybody talking, because ultimately Lana wins and Crystal sachets away. Now, I know this is a very divisive topic, and I know people have a lot of opinions. Personally, I felt like Crystal won this lip sync. I do think that Lana captured the essence of the song more. Yes, I agree. It was more of a sexy performance, and that's what this song is. However, Rue does not like when a queen loses a wig. And yes, I know that Lana placed that wig so effortlessly back on her head. But still, it's a no-no. You need to glue your wigs down. Not only that, she's been in the bottom the last couple of weeks now, whereas if we look at Crystal's track record, this is crazy. How can she go from being consistently in the top and high and safe to being eliminated? I also felt that Lana used some of the same moves that she used in the lip sync with Hormona last week, like bending the heel back and touching the head, things like that. There were a lot of moves that we had already seen. It makes me wonder if they sometimes do things like this to get people talking, or whether they really want a lip sync assassin for the season and they've chosen Lana to be that lip sync assassin. Whatever the case, please don't send hate to Lana, it's not her fault. So my friends, what did you think of this week's episode? I honestly don't agree with a lot of the choices. I would not have put Lexi in the top, and I definitely would have saved Crystal. I also would have put Corey King in the top over Lexi. I feel like Corey deserved a top placement in this episode, although I did not like her runway. Next week is the Wicked Wiz of Oz musical, so that should be fun. Let me know all the tea what you thought, and I'll be back soon with another video.